I would like to take this opportunity to invite our next esteemed guest to deliver the final keynote session of Communicate 12. May I request Mr. Ramashish Ray, Director, Retail, Samsung Electronics, to kindly join us on the dais. Mr. Ray is a physics graduate with a research paper on superconductivity. Sir is an alumnus of IIM Calcutta. Sir has 18 years of experience with 11 years in the telecom industry, and for the past 7 years has been working abroad as retail head APAC from Singapore and global retail management team of Nokia based in Helsinki, Finland. Sir is also an avid nature enthusiast and a strong believer in the India story. Sir joined Samsung India to create and build their retail and is part of their leadership team. SITM welcomes you, sir, to Communicate 12. I now request sir to kindly start the session.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Great. I almost thought I'll start by saying good afternoon, but I think you've had great enriching sessions, which makes me move to good evening, and thanks, I had a late flight. First of all, this is my first visit, and I was enthralled by your lovely campus. I really enjoyed it. I think when my introduction, the lady said that I love nature, so it's great to be here. I thank Professor Sunil Patil, Director of the campus, and Professor Avinash Aslekar to have me here. I'm really privileged and honored to have a session with so many young minds in the telecom industry. And why I say that is, and I hope that you had, I heard some of the sessions which were going on. It's pretty enriching, great panelists, lovely discussions which were going on. And I hope it has been really enriching for you as it was for the short session which I could attend. And hopefully I am able to attend some of them more in the times to come. I also have a personal, reason for attending this. And that's because in the early days, more than a decade back when I joined the telecom industry, phones used to be 35,000 rupees and call rates used to be 18 rupees a minute. And I joined Nokia after the pager industry died, and people told me you are going to the death knell of an industry because this is going to go the same way. This industry, however, boomed. I still remember the days when we didn't have, I think, a course in telecom management. Nokia, one of the largest companies globally, but here used to do maybe, 5,000 handsets a month. And it's been a great story since then. It's one of the best thriving industries. And combined with that, my topic today is retailing, which got opened up as a sector yesterday. So a boom sector telecom and an upcoming sunrise industry retail. And how do these two combine is something I think I can touch upon today. So I'm a sales marketing professional. I'm not really a tech professional in that sense. But I hope I can bring some snippets here towards the last session before the valedictory address, which kind of rounds off on some of the opportunities which I see personally in retailing as well as telecom, and where these two converge. And it's not just telecom. I think there's a screen convergence happening. Thankfully, in my job, I also look after things like smart TVs and tabs and stuff like that. So it's not just mobility, but I think it's the backbone which is coming together. So let's hope I can share some of those exciting opportunities, which keeps me going, and hopefully that's something which is of great interest to all of you. This session is for about 30 minutes. I actually would like to finish by 20 and take some questions, because what it really interests me having come back to India, as I said, I really believe in the growth story, is to get a chance to interact with some of the young minds here, and therefore which will hopefully challenge and also refresh and jog my memory a little bit. So how I'll take it is, I'll discuss some trends, and some of these are pretty well-known trends, but see it building up to a story. Trends in telecom, trends in retail, and what I call a smart future. You might have seen I used the icon called smart. Samsung, I think, has epitomized the reason I had to leave my ex-employer. They've really taken on the smart space. IBM talks about the smarter way of running the planet. And I think the products of Samsung epitomize whether it's smartphones or smart TVs or the tabs. So one of the best and most exciting things, and I think you all feel it in telecom, is that this is a great place of innovation. If you see, not so long ago actually, this evolution has actually happened in a few years. It's taken what, 5 to 7 years? People are already talking about the death of CRT. LCD was the cool thing a few years back. It's no more cool. It's already moving to LEDs. And while I really enjoy this space of innovation, and I think you guys really are in the thick of it. You're sitting at the cradle of it. You joining a course. You are part of a telecom management course. Christ, I mean, it's a great industry. As I said, it's great to see that we have matured to a point as an industry where there are so many young minds who are joining this kind of a course. It doesn't happen so much in cars, and that's what I wanted to kind of point out here. Or it doesn't happen in one of the companies I used to work earlier. The only thing I did was change the can of paint and put a new label on it, saying that, wow, it's a new product. Actually, it was the same paint which my grandfather used to put on his walls. If I now see some other categories, many of you know this. When I was in campus, I used to work off a black and white dodgy screen with some mainframes at the back end, and really makes me feel old. I thought I've got 17, 18 years of experience, but just look at this, the way it's gone. I've lived through some of the mobile ones myself, including one of the biggest ones, not this particular mobile phone, but having seen even the car phone, the car mobile, first one, I think it used to weigh about 7.5 kilos, which used to take around. But these are just trends. So as I said, I'll just talk about some trends and it will help. Let's look at what's also doing in terms of data capacities and what's happening here. You have this whole evolution or revolution, and I think most partners would have talked about it last 2 days. So I don't want to belabor this, but just see where storage has gone in terms of both usage, etc. Some online stats actually I picked up from the net while I was surfing what to talk about with you guys yesterday night. Hopefully these are right. This is from Wiki, etc. 3 billion email accounts, 555 number of websites. It says December 11. I think this is already dated. Maybe 2.5 billion users now. One critical thing is there's almost 1 billion internet users in Asia. And something I'll touch upon later, I was speaking to the media head of Stockholm about 2 weeks back. We already have 6% of mobile advertising coming through mobile, which is possible. Online advertising is becoming big and it's shifting to mobile as a search. Of course, you know the million story of Facebook and trillion YouTube. What interests me as a retailer, and this is one of the pinpoints which I want to talk about, is trillions of pin data, if I can call it pin, and what location is doing. Your mobile or you leave a footprint across. Security agencies are going crazy about it, but for me this is great food. As I build on this, you will understand. So just imagine every user taking a mobile with his location on, is crisscrossing billions of them across the world and mapping out their locations. And it's all going somewhere. Whether we use it or we don't, that's a different thing. And I think some speakers have already talked about it here. There's another channel, another thing which is happening, and this is more from a retailing point of view, which is what I call multi-channel shopping. At least maybe 15 years back, we used to go, it was more a necessity buy. You kind of think of something, you kind of end up at a shop, and that's what you buy. But the need drivers are changing. And more importantly, the opinion drivers and the referral scheme, the whole way you shop is changing. You are not just, and it's not that you're buying the same products in multi-channel, but the role of referral or the role of each channel is changing. I really don't know, as a retail, running retail of Samsung or before that, where did you really decide to buy me? Was it your friend? Was it an online thing? Was it something you saw on Facebook? Is it something you first checked out me online and then decided to buy? And these are big trends. It's not just here. It's happening globally. But I think somewhere it's happening a lot in India. There are a lot of youngsters actually surfing and buying this way. But I don't think most of us sitting in retail, and I take part of the blame, are getting it here. If you really see, I talked about the TV industry change. Remember those pictures? Has the TV shop or the experience of the way you buy TV really changed? I joined Philips from campus, 1994, and when I came back and started handling electronics channel, including the TV channel, believe me, 80% of the same guys are still selling TV the same way. So the products changed, all this has happened, but nothing much has changed. And my story here, what I'm going to talk to you about, is not to give the mantra of retailing, but to throw some opportunities, as I said. All of you are starting on your careers. Many of you are great engineers. You've got experience. And I see great opportunities in this one sunrise industry, which is just still not peaked, and another one which is coming by, which is going to sweep the world, and many of you will be in the thick of it. So hopefully I can leave those nuggets. So with all this, is this guys going to survive? What is traditionally called brick and mortar? Or they're going to go all the way? Is everything going to be online? Everything going to be delivered at home? It's not true, actually. 60% of respondents in a UK survey, which I attended, there was a Barcelona, in Barcelona, there's a Retail World Congress which is held. Then the last World Congress, 60% of respondents, they polled, and UK is one of the highest online user market. People said no, they like to check out things online. They like to buy the convenience online, but there are many things they want to actually go into the store. Why? Because shopping is entertaining. If it's done with friends, and if it's got the right ring to it. So, it's not that these guys are going to die out. They will die out if they don't do it the right way. So, having said those trends, I think in India we have a great opportunity to leapfrog. We have one of the best bases of mobile internet users. We don't have to necessarily ape how retailing has happened. This is a damn new, totally new industry going to come up in India. So we can set our new rules. And this is what I said about the dream of India and what it can do here. So what are the opportunities of leapfrogging? And I'll just talk here. I'm just 10 minutes into my presentation, maybe another 10 minutes. I'll leave you with 5 thoughts and then take some questions. Location. Personally, while I've been in retailing and portfolio, etc., there have been enough projects in my erstwhile company where we tried to really get location working for us. Nokia actually bought one of the largest maps companies in the world, paying a huge amount of $8 billion for Navtech. We couldn't use it, actually. I still feel we couldn't. And it was one of the best things which is waiting to be used. Let me give you a use case. Now, if I put on my hat of retailing, what's the best thing I want? Look at all the data which is floating around. If you remember the Kirana store, one of the best things my mom used to like about it was they knew each other. The Kirana store knew exactly what she wants at what time. Towards the end of the month, my mom, and my dad was an upright government officer, I still remember the days when by the 20th the money used to finish. And we used to get credit from that guy. So the point is, that guy knew us. Now, as an organized trade or a retailer, there is so much of data floating around on what you do, where you go, how you buy. But I, as a retailer, if I say I'm running Samsung retail or whether it is Reliance retail or tomorrow it is XYZ, there is no intelligent data for me. Believe me, there was a flagship store which I was wanting to open, and I wanted some basic data. How many consumers or shoppers of my profile actually walk by this place? How many would stop? How many would use it? There's some such data existing in some other parts of the world, but they have come through over time, and India has a great chance to leapfrog as retailing opens and as telecom boom happens and all this data floats around. So what are we doing with the location data in India? Is regulation there or not? I really don't know how much of it is. But as a business owner, this is the best thing in terms of information. If I know before a guy comes to my store that, listen, this is his habit and he's going to come there. And whether on the 20th of the month he has the money or not. The next thing is new categories shall emerge. And why not? There's a physical me and there's a virtual me. And there's so many things you know about my virtual me. So what about the products which can come to my virtual me? And what prevents the best physical retailer to have an online retail which addresses my virtual self, which takes care of all the farm things I want to buy, or which takes care when my daughter wants to play in Lego online to give her the Lego extra bit which she wants. So this is the second piece of the story. So one is this opportunity around location, and the second is whole new product categories which might emerge. I might have not one virtual self, I might be in 5 avatars. Some of my avatars on my mobile, some of my avatars on my tab, some of the avatars which I do as social on front of a smart TV with my family. What can you sell me? Now these are, why am I mean, as I said, what I'm trying to do here is raise some questions, because I met an entrepreneur person from your very institute who runs an apps company. And I'm hoping there are many more of you who may be selling, tomorrow there might be one of you who starts selling virtual stuff on store for my avatar. Next is what I call predictive behavior patterns. And I think I was having a discussion just now with one of the industry leaders from Singapore before this. I've used the word future tailing, and I have used it not to say what is the future of retailing, but to say that you know this whole usage of the predictive behavior using the data. So one was the location, so that I know when you are at what position, and I can kind of maybe ping you with a discount or pull you into my store, etc., etc. But here, it's about the behaviors and the patterns which you follow. Google today already knows, as they say, that there will be a flu outbreak in XYZ at a certain point of time. Do we have to wait for, just because there's an Android ecosystem and the whole Google ecosystem, to do that here? Or there are other ways which we can use in terms of the predictive behaviors which we know of. And that could be the future. I was hearing just now a panel discussion on wallets and mobile payments. So the predictivity of that behavior is known. People transfer things at the month end. And what you need is some retail organization to actually use that in a sense which makes sense to the industry and it's profitable. Fourth, advertisement. Believe me, and I don't want to put figures here, Samsung is one of the largest advertisers, right? But much of the money which I spend on retail, BTL, ATL, crores and crores of the money, many of the time I don't know its effectiveness. I don't know how many people actually, because there's not enough data mining, I don't know who came to my store and why did they come. Is it because they saw an ad somewhere? Was there a trigger or there was no trigger? Is it something they did on their mobile? Is it something they did on their tab? Is there something which they touched and they saw an ad and they interacted? There was an interesting thing, by the way, we had done, and first time I think on our smart TV ad there was an augmented reality stuff done on online, where smart TV voice and gesture, without actually people going to the store, we put something which uses your laptop camera for you to actually start doing voice and gesture. Really zoomed things in terms of the experience. Now, therefore, in that scenario, of course, I knew how many people actually, but I had no way to link that with the amount of smart TV sales I had. Yes, it's great to get eyeballs. It's great to feel that so many people interacted and they kind of knew my smart TV, etc. So, the next, of course, channels are blooming, and we know that we started having dish cable and we started having some better ideas of targeted advertising. Google's doing its own bit on online. But how do you merge these two, targeted advertisement and link it to retail, where I know that I targeted X amount of advertising money, which went to a particular guy and he ended up in my store? Wow. Can there be an application? Any organization, a retail organization or a manufacturer organization, mine, who's trying to get into retailing, would love to pay millions if we know that there is a targeted way of getting millions back. So that's the fourth idea. And the fifth, as I end maybe 18, 20 minutes, is bespoke and personalized. What do I mean here? One of the biggest reasons all of us buy, non-necessity buys. So I'm not talking about you buying rice or wheat because you kind of want the food. But one of the biggest reasons we buy is to differentiate ourselves. In mobile, we've seen a huge boom for covers. Is it to cover the phone? No, because it's to personalize the phone. It's to make my phone different, because all of them look the same anyway. And with Apple coming in, anyway, the screen is same for all of them. So the differentiation is gone. So what differentiates me? That's a very basic, innate human need. We wear different clothes. We love to buy a different bag. Now suppose I know your behavior and I know you and someone does the data mining. As a retailer, why wouldn't I personalize your device before you come to my store? And address you with your name and say, sir, before you're already there, wow, this is what you wanted. You like pink. My daughter likes pink. And I give a cover for my daughter, which is pink, with a co-branded swatch, because that's the brand of watch she wears. Imagine the glee and imagine the pleasure. And no amount of brick and mortar retailing will ever go away if we give that joy. And that's what would be the surmise. And I end with saying that that would be what, in my view, is smart retailing, which takes it to what I call entertainment retailing and not just brick and mortar retailing. Thank you so much. And what I would like is some questions from the audience. So as I end with the question, which one will you be offering, or which one is out of these is something you will offer? Yeah.
It's not working. Hello. Good evening, sir. Sir, this is Anand, second year marketing. So my question is it the product which leads to a larger sales and distribution, or is it the distribution and retail which results in good sales?
Okay. And is this for my industry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Frankly, in telecom or an innovation industry like this, exclusive retail cannot exist without a powerful brand and a great product. It's already proven in the case of Nokia, which had one of the largest retail footprints in the world, and they are shutting down stores. So to your point, I work for an innovative telecom company, and retail is a vertical. Unlike the only exception, I would say, is Apple is a great product, but they have also shown the way in retailing. Square feet sales of Apple in their stores across the world are highest across any retail category anywhere. So not only have they taken a great product and brand, but they have actually ensured some magic there. But having said that, I don't think without the product innovation behind it or the brand, it can work.
And sir, how was the dynamic shift in the strategies which you adopted for Nokia when you came in, like mass marketing, and Samsung for targeted marketing?
Okay. So Nokia, it's sad to hear that you said it's a mass marketeer. It was one of the most innovative companies just few years back. We know it as a mass marketeer today because they have missed the whole smartphone story. The fact of the matter is that till their multimedia devices with N series, the last good Symbian device was N95, but that was years back, right? So I don't think that's the reason. It's just that the product portfolio didn't match up. So to survive, they are looking at the bottom end because they're not able to fight at the top end. There is not much enough money actually there at the bottom end. What are the strategies in terms of retail? It's very simple. In retailing, it's essentially about satisfying the consumer's need with a great experience. So that remains true whether it is Nokia, whether it is Apple, or whether it is Samsung. So the bedrock of that is the same. The strategies and the way to the market may be different depending on the companies.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other question? I thought this could be an interactive session. Yes? It could be anything on the telecom, sales, distribution. Yeah, go ahead.
Just one question, like last point you mentioned was bespoke personalized, where you say that if I find out the data.
Yes.
Yeah, if the retailer finds out the data for each potential customer walking in the store, and
Yeah.
he knows before that,
Yeah.
okay, this person wants so-and-so product.
Yes.
But the thing is and you said you can personalize the product for each person.
Yes.
But how do you do that for each customer walking in the store?
For telecom, right?
For telecom products, let's say smartphones or
Yeah.
tabs. And
Apparels, it's actually easier. If you have the base structure, you can get it tailored in 24 hours. Okay, I'll tell you. There are a few things which most competition do, and most of the industry players do. Obviously, the engine remains the same. The base cover remains the same. You would have seen, I don't know whether you've gone online on Apple Store, one of the most successful things which they run actually is personalized name etching, which they do from their stores. It helps them, they actually charge for that service, and they get away with it. The etching might cost you $1, they charge $20 for it. But you get your name prescribed when you enter the store, and it's handed over to you. That's one way. Covers is another way. But more important than this hardware is the content which goes into it. There are so many apps. Everybody talks about, oh, I've got million apps, I've got 10 million. How many people actually, it's the need which you have for your particular way and behavior, right? So suppose I know what are the apps you need. If you're a fast traveler, I know that you need a travel app. If I know what kind of time apps you need, I know what is the content you need. Why wouldn't I give you a device which has already got the right apps for you? Does that answer your question? Of course they can. Of course they can. But what I am trying to say is, and there is a great fun in doing it yourself. But what I am trying to say here is, if you want to take it bespoke, marginalized in terms of what we can offer in telecom, these are some of the things which can offer straight away. And this is not limited to just telecom. This is a telecom environment. But it could be many more for whether it's washing machines or whether it is smart TVs. There could be many more, but provided we know what is the actual need of the shopper who walks in, rather than trying to discover it when someone walks in there, in that 15-20 minute interaction. Thank you so much. Yes? Any other questions? Okay. If none, I'll close the session, and thank you so much again to all of you. Okay. Should I go down from here? Okay.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable inputs with us. It was indeed a privilege to have you amongst us today. Now, I would like to request my colleague to present sir with a memento as a token of our gratitude and appreciation. Thank you, sir. May I request you to take your seat amongst the audience.